'cause it makes me love you so. I only know I never wanna let you go, 'cause you started something, oh can't you see, that ever since we met you've had a hold on me. Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with a VeVe, Omi, Definity, DEVVE update video. Stackr as well. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon, smashing that super thanks button down below, super chats as well, blah, 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 blah. We've got a bit to go over today. What's this thing titled? VeVe, Ecomi, Stacker. Teases new IP. Okay, yeah. Omi, DEVVE, Definity Talk. Candy, supposed to be Verse, VeVe Comics, AMA. Okay. Let's start off with the Definity because I want to. So we'll take a look at that, and then I do have a story about a Department of Government Efficiency I'll tell you about in a second. So Definity, not really a ton of volume, 5,500, but again, 5,500 ends up 2.2%. What happens when people finally wake up and people finally say, hey, guess what? All of these institutions that are buying this crypto are doing so legally through Definity, and they're making, I don't know, I'm somewhere in the six figures, per month. I would like to think that, let's just say it's 100,000. Let's kind of lowball it here, right? 1.2 million per month, or I'm sorry, 1.2 million per year. So it was just 100,000, and the market cap fully diluted is 7 million. Non-fully diluted market cap and circulating supply right now 6.246, so about 6.25. I believe that is very undervalued, and let's just say if the EBITDA would match, let's say do like a 20x, we go off and say, okay, 1.2 million, 20 is 24 million. That would be like a 4x from here if the market cap were to match that. That's 20. But again, that's if they're only doing 100,000 a month, and that's if this only goes to where it should go. I think that they're doing a lot more than 100,000 a month. I think that as the bull run comes on, they are going to do a big multiple of that. And I think at the end of the day, where crypto is that inaccurate weighing machine, it's not going to go just to where it should go. It'll overcorrect. And I think this gets into the hundreds of millions of dollars market cap. And again, right now it's about 7 million fully diluted. Now, obviously, this is not financial advice. None of this is just entertainment. This is just what I'm doing. Definity is my second biggest bag. Although, am I Jarvis in Avengers Age of Ultron? Because I suspect not for long. I do believe at some point, if Definity stays down here and DEVVE keeps running, DEVVE is going to outperform, and it is going to go on and become my second biggest bag. Right now, DEVVE's up 4.5% to about $1.70. It's wicked up. I'll show you guys over on Gecko Terminal. It's wicked up to past $1.70 multiple times over the last, what are we on, the 1 hour candles here? Yeah, so if this is like right above the line is like $1.70, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times it's wicked above there. And even right now, as I go in and refresh, it's $1.69.5. Everyone comment nice down below with the 69. If you take a look at let's go to the max over here. Looks like a giant cup and handle that's been forming. All it would just be, it'd have to wedge down a little bit for the handle. It would go insane. But I typically don't like to do any type of, what's it called, TA on this, because a lot of times in crypto, any new announcement, which they said they have, make it go absolutely insane. Again, there is going to be a bit of a sell-off. You're going to have people that go in and say that bought it at 12, 13, 14, 15 cents like I have, 30 cents like I did, and then 90 cents like I bought again at. And they're going to look to sell. Like, again, if you bought it at 17 cents and you're 10x, I'm not going to blame. I'm going to blame if you take like 50% of that, but I'm not going to blame you to take a little bit of profit. Maybe take the initial investment out, and then you're playing with house money at that point. Like I said, I think it goes bananas. There might be a sell-off on that announcement, depending on what the announcement is. If it's a super small exchange that they're working with, sure. There'll be a lot more. There'll be that cross trade of new people that get eyes on it and the people that sell. But at that point, I think the sellers just kind of win that day. It goes down. They could make multiple announcements. So here's why I think it'll actually go up after the announcement, and people will sell the news. But you look here at the 24-hour trading volume. That's $2.5 million. What happens when we go off and we get a bunch of eyes on it? And like $2.5 million, like nothing. A lot better than Omi's doing now, and we'll get to that. But $2.5 million is pretty much nothing. What happens when it gets 50, 60, $100 million in volume? Okay, well, what is it? A 50x. Let's say like a 30x from here, right? And does like 90-ish million in trading volume. Does that mean you automatically, 35x the market cap? No, but could you like 6x the market cap? Sure. All right. What's 1.69? Nice. Times 6. That's $10. $10.14 was rounding error. Let's go down to $10. That's insane. That's a lot. And again, that you're like 30, 40xing the volume, and you're just 6xing the price. And again, that's what the type of exchanges we have now? MEXC, Gate.io, and Uniswap, and then Hybit. I don't think there's a lot of volume from that. All right, it's 44,000. Not a ton, not a ton. But I think they were actually Renegade listed somewhere recently. Let's go over to get Coin Market Cap, and it'll show the Renegade listing of Bvox. So Bvox actually Renegade listed Omi as well. And again, is there a ton of volume? No, it's 32,000. But at least people are trying to go. And then Dodo on Ethereum, there's like 1,500 in volume, but it's there. I guess if we're doing that, we have Ocean's 2,700. I don't know what Bilaxy is, 55,000 over there. And again, another open ocean down there. I guess it's a different trading pair. Speaking of trading pair, hold on. I know that was today. I think it was today that, there's so much to talk about here. We have Bushido Bitcoin saying market is dumping. DEVVE is at resistance area, not dropping. Instead, it's ranging. It's insane strength. Have you been DCAing your entry? News around the corner. See you at $1.55 and beyond. Obviously, we're $1.69 now. So yeah, if you take a look at DYOR.net, DYOR.net has a pretty respectable 85,500 followers over on X. Say like, hey, we just did a scan on Gate.io. Here are the full results. The top bullish trends that are paired with Bitcoin, that have trading pair with Bitcoin, are XRP, XLM, ADA, GT, and IOTA. But the top bullish trends on USDT pair is CAT, Kube, Patriot, Geod, and DEVVE. DEVVE is the #1 USDT trading pair over on Gate.io. So I thought that was very, very significant. And again, what happens when we get off these like tier 3 exchanges and we go on to tier 2 and even tier 1? I just, again, what could happen? Obviously, my analysis on that, $10 in that future, and then obviously I think a bit higher. And it's like, well, $10. Well, Chavez, math might be correct with volume, and the formulas might be, but what would that put the market cap at? So the market cap again is 148 million, but a rounding error. Let's go to 150, and we multiply that by 6. So that's a $900 million market cap. It sounds like a lot, but that's not even $1 billion for crypto. And this, which I think could be a top 20. Top 20, you need like $11 billion. So let's just do, again, we'll round that down. Let's do like another 11x from there to make it like 10 million. So you're looking at a 66x here, and that's if the top 20 stays where it is right now. And the top 20 is not going to stay where it is. We're very early in this bull market. As Trump goes over and has a that overhaul of the SEC, as he gets sworn in, all of this, I think the top 20, $30 billion market cap. So again, do another 3x on top of that, like 180. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just going where the math leads me. That'd be a $29.7 billion market cap. And I know that sounds insane, but for what this can do with a T0 settlement time, this doesn't exist anywhere else. I legit had somebody call me the other day, like, Randy, we do hundreds of millions of dollars in credit card volume. And I'm used to that because I used to do credit card processing with the merchant cash advance, the high risk lending. And yeah, they eat like 2, 3, 4% plus, all these other different fees. And if you could just get rid of that, and you can go to somebody or an entity or company that's able to have T0 settlement time, Bro. Anywho, again, throwing that out there. Let's go over. So speaking of Trump and Department of Government Efficiency, I ran into Vivek Ramaswamy today. He's a Harvard and Yale trained like lawyer, just absolutely insanely intelligent. He's very nice. Not that I'm expecting he wasn't. I see him walk past and I'm like, I was like the Flash running and like Superman is like kind of looking at him and Flash is like, you can see me. He looked at me and I was like, oh. And then I go in out and I was like, oh wait, is that him? I was like, I like just finished a workout, so my brain was like scrambled eggs, and I was just like, I gotta Google this real quick. Like, is that really him? Like, okay, yeah, that's really him. I was like, excuse me, Vivek, and he's like, yeah, hi. I was like, hi, I'm Randy Chavez. I love you. Can I help with anything? And then he shakes my hand. And he's like, what? I was like, sorry, like, I'm a veteran. I run a YouTube channel. He thanks me for my service, which was great. I don't tell him that I help consult wealthy individuals on crypto. I don't tell him about. I just told him like I had a YouTube channel. Like that was it. So drop me a line on X. So I shot him a message. I gave him I tagged him in something. It was. I've legit practiced this. Where I was like, okay, if I meet someone cool and I'm at a bar, and I'll just be like, try to practice like my deep voice, right? Like, how's it going? Like I don't know. I'd just be like, hey, I'm Randy. Can I buy you a drink? And just clearly fumbled, the generational fumble here. I'm pretty sure he thought I was like on speed or like some type of pre-workout or whatever. Yeah. Anywho, that was my Vivek story. He's very nice. I hope he sees this. Anyway, let's go to Omi, shall we? Yeah, let's go get this bread. Let's go get this Omi bread, and we'll see where it takes us. Omi is going on down about 0.2% on the day. Neither here nor there. That's pretty negligible, but it is down below 00036. We are at 0003598. We've been. It seems that we do be trending down though. Even along the lines of like the last 7 days. I know we've been trending down for years, but over the last 7 days, and I know we're kind of here. We're like a little consolidation thing. Obviously, over the past couple of months, we've had several wicks up to 0007. But on the whole, we're about where we were 3 months ago. Again, there were a couple of times when we get down to what was this 00027 27120. So we did go down there, but then obviously again we are pretty much where we were about 3 months ago. I think that 00027 is kind of that stake in the ground. I think that's kind of the one thing that might be that very bottom. And maybe it's not. Maybe we don't get any exchanges this quarter. Maybe the affiliate program is delayed. Maybe Stackr does not roll out this quarter. I don't think that's the truth. And speaking of Stackr, they had gone over and Stackr, Ben Rose, Foster Hill, anyone that works for VeVe and Ecomi, you name it, they've been. I went. There was like my thumbnail yesterday. Wes had gone over and said, "Hey, 49% of people think that we'll be able to trade our Disney collectibles or Omi on Stackr this year." And Ben had that, those eyes, that eye emoji. I do not think I play two scenarios here. We'll do this thought process and we'll do this thought experiment. In one experiment, in one universe, Ben goes on and teases that with his eyes, with his eye emoji. Disney go and say like, "What the fudge are you doing? We're in the middle of negotiations with this. You say you want us to do the Omi to NFT. You teasing that is not going to make us say yes. We're done with you until we know that you can like keep a secret," and they back out. Or maybe the deal is inked already, and he's giving those eyes like tease, like saying like, "Yeah, we know it's coming. We just haven't announced it yet." And they signed off well on board because it wasn't only him. You have my main man, Foster Hilt. Now, I know I've called other people my main man before, but my main man is contingent on who gives me content or who I like in the moment. Anyway, Foster Hilt had gone over. VeVe Viral had said, also, when it comes to Omi to NFT for brands that have royalties, I really hope it's not an Omi sell pressure situation and instead just requires a gem balance like having Ethereum for gas or shoot, maybe even a stable coin. You got us, right, Foster Hill? Foster says, hey, Ivan, gems are not required to list collectibles on the Stackr marketplace. It was an interesting idea, but would have created too much of a barrier to entry for user, i.e. just to list collectible for 10K at 6%, you would need to lock up $600 worth of gems with no guaranteed sale and a reduction in purchasing power, or even needing to buy gems or sell other things just to accumulate the funds to list something else. It would not have led to any meaningful adoption. With the buyer's fee permanently reducing the circulating supply of the token and the additional utility and interest that will come for the token with the feature, any selling pressure from this would be negligible. There are also mechanisms such as market making, which can be utilized to swap in and out of the token to pay fees without negatively impacting the token. There are pros and cons to both options, but I'm confident that this will be the better path to adoption. I really like that. Is that the only thing he had talked about? Bridging. He talked about bridging. Let me go. I think Stackr is the. Hold on one second here. I just want to see what else Foster has been saying. Okay. Jeremy Cormier a couple days ago had said, "Changed my mind." He posts a meme about how just VeVe sucks, whatever. Foster goes and says, "Hey Jeremy, good feedback." Well, let me read you the meme. I don't want to do Jeremy like this. It's that guy looking at the hot chick while his girlfriend looks on in disgust. The girl that's looking on discussing patient and loyal power users wanting a simple and fun way to display and interact with their comics, collectibles, and search for new ones. Talking about VeVe fans. But VeVe's really looking at the hot chick saying, building mediocre VeVeverse releasing a broken app, backing out of interoperability, backing out of gamification, not releasing crypto in and out, hyper focusing on MCP and drops. So obviously, I don't want to say like Squidward, mediocre, after Plankton calls him a mediocre clarinet player. If you know, you know. Comment down below if you get that reference. Building a mediocre VeVeverse, like one, I don't know if he's even in the VeVeverse beta. I don't think he is. VeVeverse, again, it's going to be to each their own. I think it's pretty cool. Does it catch on? I have no idea. But to say that it's a mediocre thing and just to like say that as fact is a little extreme. Saying releasing a broken app, yeah. When they released the new version of the app, it was a little funky, and there was a lot to be desired, and that was what, in November. So it's less than 2 months later, and we've had like what, 8 updates since then. Every single time increasing it in a very notable way. So again, this person's really just cherry picking a bunch of data here that was very negative and using it to like make this mean. There's a word for that when you try to take data and skew it a certain way. I forget what it was called. Backing out of interoperability. Again, the interoperability thing, if it was just VeVe, and if it was I'm just VeVe, I just give it to them so people just shut up. But it's likely just the licensors that are probably saying like, hey, if you can make it so that we're still getting paid, even though people like, because if you go and put it in your MetaMask and you're going to put in whatever, and then you sell it, and then you put it transfer from one MetaMask to the other, it's like, okay, you can. It doesn't seem to be any way to prevent people from skating out of that selfie, because you could say like, I give this little tiger duck thing, he has a MetaMask, and I give him $10,000 for a secret rare Miles Morales, right? And we'll get to the Miles Morales later. And he says like, okay, but I don't want to pay for this, the seller's fee, and then the Disney 6% fee on top of that. Let's just do an OTC deal. Just Venmo me 10K or PayPal me 10K, and then just transfer it to me. And it's like, okay, cool. And then you do that, and like, of course, Disney's going to know what's going on until you can go on. And I'm just using Disney as an example. It could be MGM, could be Features, could be any of these particular licenses that have a fee when you go to sell them, like that seller's fee. I think that until they're guaranteed their share, they're not going to be happy about it. They're not going to do it. And again, that's not the fault of VeVe. And I don't want to place blame here, but it's going to be on the people. Like if I have a secret rare Miles Morales and that I want to sell for $10,000, I know that $850 is going to come out in fees on the app. And why would I sell it on the app when I could just sell it via MetaMask and someone and store it somewhere else? And of course, you're going to do that because you like, yeah, you know what? I'll give it to you for $9,500 because this way, am I making as much? No, it's $500 less, but I save on $850 in fees, so that's an extra 3.5%. $350 that's in my pocket. People are going to do that every single time. Every single time. That's why transfers are banned, because like people weren't getting their fees. And again, that's just that impasse that's going to have to happen. Backing out of gamification. I think they will have. They never said that they're never going to focus on gamification. Just that other stuff probably taking priority right now. And that gamification, I personally believe, comes at some point in the future. That's just me. Not releasing crypto in and out. So again, you don't want to have it just in the app. That's what Stackr's for. Because if you have it on the app, again, Dapper Labs just paid like a $4 million lawsuit because they had a super enclosed ecosystem with no third party. Why would you release something on VeVe, keeping it in an enclosed ecosystem with no third party? To pay that $4 million? Again, the points that some people are making are just absolute buffoonery. Hyper focusing on MCP and drops. That's how they make money. Like, do you just not want them to focus on how to make money? Again, I know I'm being a little harsh here on this person, but maybe it's because I get these questions 8 million times a day. But yeah, this is, a big L on this meme. Anyway, Foster Hill goes and says, "Hey, Jeremy, good feedback. Just wanted to touch on the crypto in and out that you referenced, as you may have missed that. We had announced on the Ecomi side that it was removed in January 2024 in lieu of plans around Omi to NFT." And he brings the receipts, saying, "We're progressing plans around Omi to NFT. This is a high priority focus for us, and we're currently working through details of a confidential partnership. More details will be revealed at a later date. This does mean previous forms of crypto pay in and pay out tested by VeVe are no longer on the roadmap. We're excited about announcing more when we can. Watch this space." Again, I feel like it's people that purposely ignore stuff so they can fit their narrative. But Jeremy Cormier does come back and say, "Very helpful, Foster Hill. Thank you for clarifying." So got to give him props to that. Foster says, "Absolutely keep the feedback coming." Somebody says, "When is Omi to NFT going to be available on all IPs, not just a select few?" Select few meaning that we already have on Stackr. Foster Hill goes and says, "Teams are working hard to expand the list of available brands and IP. Users who have been using Stackr have provided valuable feedback to continue to improve the features and experience available. Looking forward to the day when we see more." When is that? I'm not sure. We'll see. Communications features. Okay. And then let's go to Stackr, who has, again, they've made the thumbnail this week. Wes says, of course it's Wes. "The fact that Ecomi has no timeline when we can buy Disney and Marvel collectibles using Omi is very odd." Okay, so guys, I blocked this person. I blocked this person months, if not years ago, for lying. I feel like Luke Skywalker talking to Kylo Ren, saying like, "It's amazing. Everything you just said was a lie." This guy says, "Unfortunately, Disney doesn't want to be associated with Ecomi because they have very negative PR. Therefore, Disney IP will not be traded in Omi. They keep us in suspense because they keep selling us their bags, and they will never announce it because it won't happen." Obviously, again, that person has been blocked for lying multiple times by anyone important in the space. Exploding Kitty says, "Do you have proof of this? Because I believe it's the opposite, and they're actually very near of getting it out on Stackr World." Wes says, "Hopefully," and Stackr says, "Fingers crossed." Again, why would CEO or co-CEO Ben Rose and why would Stackr go in and be publicly commenting on something, giving us this like kind of hope? I feel like Hawkeye in Avengers Endgame is like, don't do that. Don't give me hope. Unless it was actually something that was coming true pretty soon. Again, when they roll out, hopefully they roll out in Q1. Do I expect them to roll out with like a Disney stuff right away, even if they have the agreement? No, I would expect them to roll out with smaller licenses, maybe Marvel, because Marvel kind of lets them do whatever they want. And the same thing as 2021. Roll out with Marvel first. It's a huge success. Cool. A few months later, roll out with Disney. That's what I expect. Speaking of Disney, in light of the teases that Ben, Foster, and Stackr have been teasing, saying that we might be able to do this soon, we have, who was it? Where can I? We have somebody named Somsak, Somsak, that had purchased two marshmallows. Sorry, that's a SpongeBob reference. It's like one of the first episodes. The big Larry came on just to put him down. Sorry, I love that song. He bought 2 secret rare Miles Morales. I think he bought them at like 8,500 and 9,500. Now the price is well over 10K. Maybe it's changed in the last couple hours. But this person has 10 secret rare Spider-Man Miles Morales now. There's like what, 130 of those, dude. So this dude's got not only like an eighth or ninth of the supply, but also has $100,000 worth of this pixelated. Again, this isn't one of those NFTs where like, yeah, it's pixelated 2D animal that nobody knows, but you have a bunch of people saying that they're autists or degens going off and pumping these monkeys or these pixelated lions, whatever the new animal is. No, this is a legit partnership with Marvel. It's 3D. One, it's animated. It like turns invisible, which is nuts. You can play with it in AR and VR, and again, it's of Spider-Man. Is it Peter Parker? No. Ask any kid under the age of 20 who's Spider-Man. Like the last video game was centered around Miles Morales. Now that doesn't mean that Peter Parker is just out the window. They didn't do out with the old and with the new. Obviously, Peter Parker is. Most people would answer who's Spider-Man, but Peter Parker. Anyone like our parents' age or older will have no idea who Miles Morales is unless they have kids or whatever, or grandkids they take the movies to. This is... Give me a sec here. I'm going to drink some water. This guy's a major whale. And people were... I brought up Candy Digital the other day and actually put him right here, Candy versus VeVe Comics. And you had, not really this argument, you had a couple of people saying, like, are there really any, like, big whales over on Candy? Well, there's enough whales, or at least one whale, or at least people rich enough to spend $5,000 on a comic. I think a Flash #1, like it was like the #1 mint. So it was like the best mint. The floor on this is maybe like 800, maybe 1,000, but it was like the #1 mint. So whatever multiple you want to put on there, I don't know what the actual floor is. Sold for 5,200. And so obviously there are people that have enough money to do that with. I'm going to bring this back to Pokemon because that's what I know. That's what I specialized in. That's what I did before coming to VeVe. And all of these people that were spending money, most people, again, this was back in like the late 2010s, early 2020s. The big people that were like buying, they were all in their late 20s. Most people in their mid to late 20s that collected these Pokemon cards, they had, they were out of college. They had they just started in their careers. Most people were not able to go in and spend thousands or tens of thousands on like the big people that were spending that. It was like me, it was like SM Pratt, Leon Hart, maybe like Andre Jick, Logan Paul. Now we're all in our 30s, but you had this like very small edge case of like these hyper successful people that were, and granted, most of these hyper successful people, when they spent 80 grand, that was like 1/100th of their net worth. Me spending 80 grand at that time was like, it was a bigger part than 1/100th because I did not have a ton of money. Anyway, the reason for that, like you did have Gary from Pokemon, King Pokemon. That was like, he was the only like middle-aged guy. Everyone else was in their 20s because you had to wait for these people to grow up. People that grew up with Pokemon in the late 2010s were like all of us. We were kids. We were in our 20s, and we just happened to be successful at that point. We happen to have that money to spend. But most people, they spent maybe a couple $100. Like most people did not have that like mental fortitude to say like, I'm going to save up many weeks or months of my paychecks to get $10,000 and then spend it on this card. Most people do not have the ability to do that. They have this thing called like a high water mark where if they have more than a certain amount of money, they just spend it because they've never had that much before. Psychology goes insane with that. Anyway, most people that had it, that they every month or two, they would get to like, all right, I got like an extra $600-700, maybe like $2,000, and they spend it. And you could get very good cards at that time. You could have gotten in like 2018, 2019, first edition, PSA 10 Blaine's Charizard, Blaine's Arcanine, Misty's Golduck, Giovanni. So these are like from Gym Challenge, but going further back, Blastoise is too expensive. Charizard too expensive. First edition PSA 10 Venusaur or like Zapdos or Chansey was hard because that was hard to grade. Anyway, I don't want to get too big into Pokemon, but in VeVe you don't have that. Well, like, one, because it's not old enough to be nostalgic. It's like half a decade old. It's almost 5 years old. It's 4.5 years old. You have people that didn't like. Nobody like grew up with this. Maybe a couple of people now. I know Tammy Hannah, her granddaughters like love this stuff, and a couple of people, their kids really love it. But none of those people are writing these like $1,200 checks or putting in like $18,000 into the app. This guy obviously did. This guy's like, you know what, 20 grand, yeah, let me just put that in real quick, and just bought these things. And the reason why VeVe has this advantage here is because they I don't know if they necessarily target this, but they go on and they have most people that follow me that are like in my YouTube analytics is 24 to like 45-year-old, and sometimes like a little extra in the 55-year-old range. They're already people that are, I don't want to say investors, but they're making peak money. You typically don't make peak money until your 40s. And that's what a lot of these people are doing. They've already, their kids they've been in the workforce for 20 years. And they've been in the last, I'm going to say 10 to 15 years of working. You have this really interesting way of going about jobs. Like, if you're my age, any one of our parents would just say, like, no, what you do is you stick with one company, you have a career at that one company, and then you retire and they take care of you. That's what it was in like the 70s and 80s. You stay at one company and that's it. But it's clear that the research, again, even 15, 20 years ago, and this is why I always butt heads with people, especially older people, is like, no, why would I stay at one company to get a 4% raise when I could switch companies and get like a 6 or 8 or 9% raise? You're like, oh, you're just focused on the money. Damn right, I'm focused on the money. Anyway, these people that have been in the workforce for a while, like 20 grand, like, I know certain people that get like these vintage sports cards that look like they've gone through a blender, beat the heck up, and they're excited about spending like 15K on them. Because again, a lot of these other sports, like, this is why Pokemon was really only liked by the people that grew up with it, because it didn't have enough age. Like, now it's 25 years old, 30 years old, whatever. But back in the day, it was just too young. Like, I had people that I knew that were into like World War II stuff, or they were into like Civil War gold and stuff like that. And they're like, I want to get into Pokemon, but it's too new. It's like 20 years old. Like, what can you do with that? It's not nostalgic. Like, it's nostalgic for me. But you have a bunch of these characters here. Like, this person that bought, I don't know who Samsak is. I assume a very awesome individual, because it's 2,900 collectibles, having 10 Secret Rare Miles Morales, level 73, clearly awesome dude. But a lot of the ones like Inside Out, that did not do well. That sure made 25 grand. Okay, cool. I'll take it. Maserati made like 80 something thousand. All of the stuff that would appeal to somebody that's 40 years old, 40 and older, whatever, like Boba Fett sold out, RoboCop sold out, and it's not like, well, yeah, that was at a time when everything sold out. No, it wasn't. Not everything sold out, even at the time when Boba Fett was coming out and RoboCop sold out. Those were like the exceptions. But there was a time, yeah, where regardless of what VeVe put out, it sold out, and that was the rule. When Boba Fett and RoboCop came out, that was not the rule. That was the exception. And so the people that are here, I forget where I'm going with this. Candy. Let's say like Mr. Rolex, right? Mr. Rolex has NFTs from every which if it exists, Mr. Rolex has it. It's like Rule 34 for I don't want to say that. If it exists in NFT, Rolex has got a grail from that company. But outside of Rolex, a lot of the other whales, like, how many people are on Candy? I don't know. Let's do this experiment right now. Let's go over to YouTube and let's put in Candy Digital. Type it in Candy Digital. And the first thing, so Candy themselves having 564 subscribers. I guess they're just not big on YouTube. Their first thing was Candy self-custody feature sneak peek. It was 4 months ago, 386 views. Now you have, secondly, and this is, I'm putting on all, I'm not putting on most recent, so these are probably the most popular. Comics and Crypto, top 10 DC comics on Candy Digital, streamed 2 months ago, 500 views. How many of those views are because people just like comics and crypto? And how many of those views are because people are pumped about Candy? The third video is literally Kelly Clarkson. Let's go to recently uploaded. Let's see how many of these. When I put on Candy Digital, the recently uploaded just shorts of things that are not Candy. None of these are Candy. Like nobody's making content about them. So I don't. Again, I hope they do well. That 52. I hope the people that are spending this money on that, again, it seems interoperable. I hope that they're able to. Maybe they don't want to sell it. Maybe they're just like, listen, it's the history of this. It's the #1 mint of a really cool comic. It's the first time ever on the blockchain. I'm not buying it to flip. I'm buying it because of a piece of history. Cool. I respect that. And then there's people that are like, yeah, this is going to be a grail one day. Maybe. I mean, the world is going digital, so sure. I just, based on the amount of people that are there and that are actively using or talking about it, I wouldn't. Again, I'm not saying not to do it. I'm sure there are multiple people going off and buying it. Let's go to Candy right now. Let's go to their just type in Candy Digital. Okay, so Candy Digital, respectable, almost 32,000 followers, and they have, okay, from a post yesterday, 4,300 impressions. Post 3 days ago, 1,600 impressions. Post 4 days ago, 3,200 impressions. Okay, so they get a decent amount of impressions as well. Got even better. We're thrilled to announce exclusive 20% discounts for these items at the DC shop. Eligible for all base editions. Okay, so if you have a legacy Bat Cowl, you get a 20% discount on stuff on shop.dc.com, not on Candy. When was the last time they had a drop? Okay, Aquaman 2025, #1. Absolute Batman 2024, #4. Sales are now live. Okay, we'll go on Candy. We'll see how many of them they have, how many were sold out. So the drop details of Aquaman #1 2025, the price is $5. It does not say, and the drop ends in a year. The drop ends in 352 days. But if I try to buy now, okay, I need to log in and sign in for there. It doesn't say how many of them are made, and so I'm just curious about that. Going to other drops. Live. Okay, so there's the additions on the core Batman. I think this ended on December 31st, or maybe it ends next December 31st. Just unlimited editions. Just fine. Maybe that's their version of like a VeVe Comics thing. All right, there's 1,000 packs of Absolute Batman #4. There's edition of 1,000, so I don't know how many of them I could actually buy. Let me try to go the opposite way and say 99999. It won't let me. What I'm trying to say is, okay, it'll only let me buy 25, so either there's 25 left or there's a max limit of 25 per person. What I'm trying to say is that I don't know people that are super pumped that like make content on the drop, watch these drops, they get all the drops. I'm sure there are people that are. Obviously, that one dude that went and got that is, he probably has some other comics on there. He clearly has an account. And of that, how much is Candy getting? I just would hate to go on and buy stuff on Candy and then they go the way of VeVe, or not VeVe. They go the way of Recur and they go the way of Hero, and then they're just not around. And then what happens to the value of that? So Candy versus VeVe comes, and that's just some of the things that I've seen people post about on the Facebook Marketplace. Anyway, I've been talking a lot. I haven't really gone over much of the news here. Let's start with the rest of the news from yesterday. Let's go. Yep, I went to DEVVE, just the stream. Somebody says, could you discuss on stream whether Team VeVe could free the Ecomi token from transaction fees while using it in Stackr? Think that if people could no longer pay fees, everyone would have Ecomi and use in the application instead of gems. I agree. If you didn't have to pay fees, everyone would use the Omi token, but then the company or companies don't make money. VeVe's not going to make their 2.5%. The people that they have in the contracts, hey, you have to give us, like, if it's MGM, if it's Fish, if it's Disney, if they're not getting their money, something that they signed contracts for, they're not going to agree to it. So that something like that is a nice idea. It's just would never happen. Not guaranteeing. Yeah, even Comments in Crypto saying not guaranteeing royalties to licensors. It's a huge issue for artists, brands, but especially for corporations like Disney and Marvel. Unless royalties are guaranteed with self-custody, we don't see Disney providing self-custody. It's just, I literally just went over the same thing. Me and Comments in Crypto have the same brain. Fanny Carbonell posts, I'm a bit busy right now, but I'm not leaving X, nor crypto, nor VeVe. But I do play in more and more projects as an actress. Speak soon, friends from around the world. I freaking love this girl so much. There's DEVVE stuff. Actually, it's been, I feel like SpongeBob. Well, I haven't had one of these babies in 20 minutes. Then he goes and eats the Krabby Patty. See what DEVVE's at. $1.68. I'll take that. Okay. Keep the streams coming. Yep, got that. There's this guy named Partner Ralph. He's like, sell your Omi bag and buy DEVVE. I don't think it's a bad idea to buy DEVVE, but he says nothing will happen for Omi until the ruling. So April, and I say I screenshot this comment so I can blast it around when things move beforehand. I obviously think stuff for Omi moves before April, but we'll see. Maybe it won't. Everyone's friends. So you have this guy named Crypto Cat saying, I predict this week we'll see a shift in volume from AI coins to memes, with unicorn fart dust being the front runner, going to 500 million to 1 billion. People are getting tired of hundreds of AI rugs launched every day. So I just, again, unicorn fart dust is all over my timeline. This might be what the next Pepe, it might be the next whatever it is. So I'm not saying that it won't, but I'm saying that you give me $1 million right now. Unicorn fart dust is the number. It's up 7.5% today. The number 383 crypto. It has a $191 million market cap and 42 million in trading volume. This is a straight up meme coin. There's no utility there. I mean, the owner is actually doxxed, so whatever. It's going nuts, but why would I buy something that has like no utility? There's no revenue. It's just like, yeah, let's pump it up. Or I could buy something with DEVVE, something with actual revenues. They have actual partnerships. I could buy Definity, same thing. VeVe's Omi token, same thing. I just would never do that. And again, unicorn fart dust is all over my timeline. For like a big meme token, like this could do another 10x. 10x from here is a $1.9 billion market cap, and they could very well do that. I would just never put money on that horse when I have other horses that I know are legitimate businesses that are doing this. So again, give me $10 million. None of it would go into unicorn fart dust. It would only go to companies with tokens that have revenues and they have actual businesses. And again, this unicorn fart dust can do a 10x from here. I mean, heck, it could, if it could goes nuts, do a 100x, go to a $19 billion market cap in the greater bull run. Obviously, 1900 now would make it like the number 25 token. Not now, but in the later bull run, I think that's possible for something like this. Because again, meme coins they're stupid, but you don't have to understand like economics. You don't have to understand token supply and tokenomics. You don't have to understand, hey, is this CEO good under pressure? Are they good? Like, you just have to say, oh, unicorn fart dust is funny, and that's it. And you just you ape in, and it could go nuts. It can go nuts. However, the Catman says, as predicted, we are now seeing a major shift in volume from AI coins to memes. Says, don't fade me, especially don't fade Ron and unicorn fart dust. But he's saying people are getting tired of the hundreds of AI rugs launched every day. Now you have these. One, AI is very hard to understand, and I don't mean like, no, I use it all the time. I use it to. I mean, you could use it for whatever you want. You could use it to help you write a thesis. It's very easy to use, when I say easy to understand, like, do you have a very good LLM? Do you have a very good AI that is actually learning? Is it actually, does it give a use case? Is it disrupting anything? Is it vertically integrated with your company? And like nobody's asking that those questions. A lot of people are thinking it's the same thing. 2021. You have an NFT company? Shut up and take my money. Oh my God, you're doing what with AI? Like, so AIOZ is something that I saw the other day, that a friend was telling me about. I'll read exactly what I wrote to him. AIOZ, he was asking about it. I said, I'll go deeper on it later, but for now, here's my first impression. It's decentralized storage. Store all your stuff in their version of the cloud, all your Web3 stuff. Everything goes on blockchain. It's a big step to their bigger goal of AI computing. They have a network of 200,000 devices that run nodes for their decentralized storage. I can't find how many people actually use and pay for their product, though. Their partnership and research comes from several universities, none of which are Ivy League: Aberdeen University, Arkansas University, Vietnam National University, Liverpool, and Tsinghua. They have worked with Alibaba Cloud in the past. They're a top AI token because of their market cap. They're on a bunch of exchanges already. I've said that NFTs or AI is likely to run next. If it's AI, this will be one of the leaders because of its accessibility and hype. Because I can't estimate what their revenues are, I can't make a strong case for fundamentals. They have one founder who's not active on Twitter, and their affiliates on X are very small. If this were a normal company that I could buy stock in, I wouldn't buy stock in, because even though they were first to market, I don't know anyone that's pumped to store everything they have on a company's decentralized cloud that's less than 4 years old. I would pass on this if it were a stock. However, because of the narrative that's likely to run and the tokenomics of it, it's fully diluted. There's no token unlocks. There's only 1.1 billion tokens. It can be hyped up. People saying like, oh, we're early, and it's respectable engagement on X. I can say that if you put money in this, it'll likely do well. I can't say for sure that it justifies its market cap of 1.3 billion right now, much less of what it could be when everyone has euphoria. But as we know, people tend to not look at market caps. Like, picture this running to 10 billion or so as the narrative hits. Again, when people look into stuff like that, they're not looking at market caps. They're not looking at fundamentals. They're not looking at revenues. All they're looking at is like, oh my God, you have AI, and they get glossy-eyed. And you don't see red flags when you're looking at things through rose-colored glasses. And even though not everything in AI is rugs, most things, there's going to be a lot of rugs. There's going to be a lot of scams. Again, you had, remember that one person that was pumping up Mammoth AI, and he's like, yeah, I think this is a good company, and he couldn't tell that they were a rug. Jesus, man. So you have the legit companies that, like, you could have a legit company saying, we have an AI that makes, we're Phygital. We have an AI company that designs these new Jeep ducks, or it's the next big thing in Jeeps. We plan to take a certain amount of market share from the Jeep ducks, and we're using AI from what people want. You put in your information, and the AI will choose the right, Jeep duck for you. And they say, like, and it's a cool idea, and I guarantee you that idea could raise millions of dollars. And then people go in and say, like, oh my God, they're doing this. They're going to take so much market share. Summer's about to come. They're going to make so much money. And then they don't make money because they're building. And people are like, what are you guys doing? There's no roadmap or whatever. Like, well, we told you what we're going to do. We're building right now. We have to get, a place to make all these. Maybe they're doing 3D printing. Maybe they have to build a new machine for it, whatever it is. And they go off and they say, hey, we're going to do X, Y, and Z, but we have to be delayed a couple months. And people are like, you're going to miss the bull market. You're going to miss summer. You miss all these time zones. The token's doing nothing. And these legitimate companies that are trying to build like this business, their token just goes kaput because everyone's like, people get bored, people get tired. And again, you can have legit AI companies that are just not making money, and people are not going to see that because they don't look into it. So I understand the premise. We all know that AI is going to take over the world. That is the future. But how many AI company winners are going to be in the space? Not a lot. You might be able to make money off of them short term because of hype and pumpamentals, but you're going to have to know when to exit. because that hype, those pumpamentals are very, very short term and they're very, very temporary. But the fundamentals of a company, I don't want to say forever, but they are for the length of the company. Anyway, I barely went over like any of the news here. They teased new IP. All right, I pretty much talked about whatever I want to talk about. I know I didn't go over really any of the news. I'm 50 minutes in though so far. I got to talk about Candy. Candy says congrats to Jim Broski and the Rebel Duck on winning this week's DC3 giveaway. So it's nice that they're doing giveaways. Be sure to tune in next week for more chances at free DC3s. I think that's awesome that they do that. Something's going on with Binance listings. Apparently, they just listed $200 million tokens, but still haven't given the $600 million dog a perpetuatory listing. This guy Leonidas says it's very fishy. I don't really know anything about dogs or dog. You know that meme coin. I don't know what they're. Did you ask? No, I did not ask Vivek about the TikTok ban. I don't think they're going to ban it. Crypto RS says, in case you missed it, the crypto industry is holding its own inaugural crypto ball on January 17th in honor of swearing in of real Donald Trump and JD Vance. As I know there's a bunch of comments. Oh, there's actually not a lot of comments here. Okay, that's not bad. That's actually not bad. I can keep going for a little while. You have the guy named Ricky Art 141 saying, I didn't do too bad on the drop. Who's your friend who likes to play? Bing bong, bing bong. VeVe Magic says, congrats. I got bing bong too. Ben Rose saying bing bong as well. He likes the bing bong also. Who's this Mr. Crypto guy? Mr. Crypto is a 126,000 followers over on X, saying the Ethereum pump from 4K to 8K will happen in a matter of weeks. He posted that on January 11th, so that was yesterday. Then you have the Modern Investor saying Ethereum going to 8,000 in a few weeks. I haven't taken a look at him in a little while. Let's take a look at the Modern Investor and see what he's been saying. Again, 30,000 followers over on X, but like 250,000 subscribers over on YouTube. Love this man. The last couple of days, one of the Bitcoin stuff he said a few days ago says, was that last dip next stop Bitcoin 130,000? That was 2 days ago. I think the price of Bitcoin went to like 94. Yeah, it's 94.3 right now, down about 0.5% on the day. Pretty red day for most of crypto. Not like crashing, but just just a red day. And again, you have that red day, and DEVVE's got another. They got another positive day. They've been positive for like ever the last few months. Like, take a look at it. Yeah, last few months is just like. What else is Modern Investor doing? It says Bitcoin to 210,000 February 13th. He is going and requoting a Captain Parabolic Toblerone. Oh, I love that. Love that name. 54,000 followers over on X saying Bitcoin. It completed the fourth wave. Now fifth wave is starting, which should take Bitcoin to $210,000 before Valentine's Day. You have somebody that says, not to be an ass, but didn't you call the fourth wave to touch 120,000? And obviously it didn't. It went up to like 108, give or take. But even still, if you're calling for 120 and it goes to 108, if this guy's calling for 210,000 by Valentine's Day or before Valentine's Day, even if it doesn't do it and it goes to like 175, that's still pretty cool. Anyway, the guy responds and he says, not shying away of somebody that's just, again, being an ass. He goes off and says, yes, but the fourth wave took a triangle shape instead of a running flat. As a result, Bitcoin top target has been reduced from 280,000 to 210,000. So this guy not only addresses it, he gave reasons why that certain type of thing happened. This guy says, good morning, Captain. After blow off in February, how low do we go? Thank you. Peace. This guy says 52,000 in June. So the guy thinks that we get 210,000 in February. We go down to 52,000 in June. I don't know if that's going to happen, but again, this is something that Modern Investor clearly follows. Let's see what other things this guy has said. I'm really curious. Not much recently. No, not much recently. And then Modern Investor says Algorand, XRP, HBAR, question mark. That was really it. Ethereum going to 8,000 a few weeks. Yep, saw that. And that was it. Okay, let's go to 54 minutes now. I'll get on these comments. Again, there's not a lot of comments. I'll get on them after this. VeVe Viral says, cheers to hoping that Mr. Ben Rose, David Yu, Stackr World, VeVe Official, and Ecomi have strong marketing plan for the release of Omi to NFT for more brands. The opportunity is there. Imagine awesome promo videos showcasing officially licensed first ever Mickey Mouse and Spider-Man NFTs in AR. VeVeverse to introduce VeVe's exclusive utility token, Omi. Love that, VeVe Viral. Benny Carbonell says, in the end of 2025, you'll see me appear in a French series. Gotta love that. I love this. I love that. I love that as well. Angry about this. Drunk feeding raccoons. Is this all still yesterday's? Oh, wow. This is all still yesterday's. Bobby Green, sorry. Apologize to you. My Liam Neeson in Taken. Apologize to your wife for me, because he says, Randy, my wife officially hates you. Because every time you go live, you steal me away like some sort of internet homewrecker. Sorry. VeVe Digital Collectibles going and posting a short about their new Running Mon stuff that they had today. I don't know how that even did. Let's take a look-see over to their store and see how many of each are left. Let's see, $15 for these. Oh, these didn't do too bad at all. So let's say 1050, 200, so let's say 950. Okay. Running Mon. Okay, 950. All right, that's a special edition, so that's not going to be much. So let's say it's like another 50. Let's say it's 1,000. Another Running Mon comment. So I said 1,000, right? Let's take a look. Okay, 1050 to okay, it's like another 950. The Yeti. So let's say 1050. So it's 2,000. And then the Yeti, same thing, another 950, so 2,950, 3,000 with the special edition. The Sasquatch, this is a rare. So what I said, 3K. And this one had about, I don't know, what's 550? 170. Or I'm sorry, 550, 470, right? Yeah, 470. And the ultra rare Running Mon, so it's at 3470. Oh, this is you need to craft that. All right, so 3470 plus the ultra rare, which we're going to get probably not a lot in. That's just probably 200, so 3670, and I'll just say 3770. So all we have to do for that math, 770 times 15. Wild that this thing called Running Mon, I've never heard of before, doubles the amount of what Inside Out did. $56,000. $56,000. And again, is that like you know, an $800,000 I did so much? Like it's great. I love it. That's awesome. I guess the people that are on here right now just don't like Disney stuff, or they don't like things that are geared towards kids, because this is it's wild. This thing called Running Mon, I had no idea what this was before VeVe. It was $56,000 in volume, whereas their Inside Out stuff did like half that. That's because it was $15. Is because they were all scarce. I don't know, but very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Page this first. Oh my gosh, you are first. You are. Mr. MC1 says, hi all. Hi, Mr. MC1. I love you. Says VeVe fam coming together 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 18th January to support those affected by California fires right here on this channel. Actually, let's read what Mr. MC1 has posted. He posted it just before I went live. Mr. MC1, gotta love him. Gotta love this man. He says, VeVe collector at heart, California fire support, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday, 18 January 2025. YouTube, Real Randy Chavez channel. A 5 hour, didn't you say it was like 7 hour plus the other day? And I said, no, we gotta pump it up. If, again, Mr. MC want to be my co-host for this, I don't want to ask him to be with me for 12 hours because one, I feel like I can be a lot. And two, his voice is not used to it. His voice is going to be wrecked. It's his like, he'll fall, he can't get up, and he won't be able to scream to his wife to call for help because his voice will be gone. So, Mr. MC1, if you want to dip out at like 2 or 3 hours, that's fine. Or just come in randomly during the day, that's fine. But I'm in it for the long game. I'm in the end game now. He says, YouTube Live by VeVe Fam. Guests include David Yu, Ron English, Josh Emmett, Dr. Prophet, D-Roy Sui, 247 Comics, Carl Choi, Mr. Rolex, VeVe NFT Comics, My Collectibles, Foster Hill, VeVe Magic, and more. But wait, there's more. Whether you donate or not, please join the space to support. There's going to be other artists, the VeVe Fam, and then we'll chat about collectors at heart while supporting people affected by California fires. He tags VeVe Official, VeVe Comics, Stackr World, Ecomi, Marvel, Disney, DC NFT, Addiction, HQ, Jermaine Rogers, Mumbot, Jason Naylor, Broken Crayons, Sabbath, and Tokidoki. Any artists, etc., want to join, please let us know. Literally, my heart right now. And then he gives a gift that goes, explodes. I know that's a whipping sound, but explodes. Anyway, what I did not do today, which I should have done, but I did not, I will ask it right now. Oh, shoot. If there's a way that y'all could go in and y'all can smash that like button. It's a free way to help support the channel. Non-frees or Patreon. Smash the super thanks button down below. Super as well. Okay, where am I? Stan Kyle says, let's go. What's up, Stan? I did my first workout today in months. I don't feel too bad. My muscles a little sore. I did the hyperbaric chamber as well. I don't know if you guys know what that is. So the hyperbaric thing is you have this like, it's an oxygen chamber. It like super oxygenates your muscles. Supposedly you, I felt really hungry afterwards. So supposedly it ups your metabolism. Supposedly you burn calories in there. It's really good. Might do it again. Captain Kurt says, hey gang, what up, Captain Kurt? How's it going? Meow, meow, meow. Meow. Gang, there was this picture I saw the other day, this kid with like a really skinny arm, like super skinny, like that's his whole arm skinny. And it's just like, throws a picture of like him in like a Pop-Tart, like, I thought I'd grab a snack. And somebody down below says like, grab a couple more, gang, because he's so skinny. Oh, shouldn't laugh. It's just fun. VeVe Zombie says, yo, what up, Zombie? How's it going, fam? Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. Take one. Yep. They also, oh my God, that is ridiculous. This one person like on my post just constantly just spreads hate. Anyway, Ginferno says howdy. Meow. Meow, Ginferno. Meow. Mr. Jones goes, hi all. Hey now, this is what dreams are made of. Meow, 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 meow. Dogboy says, hi Randy. Oh, what up, Dogboy? I'm sorry that the Steelers didn't pull it out yesterday. It's a rough loss. It's hard. Always next year. Just the beginning, right? Right? And at least you had Rita Baby and you had Cass in order to go in and make it feel better. How's the puppy doing? Toby Salisbury says, hey, meow. What up? What up, Toby? Slightly late, but great to be here. Thank you for coming, Toby. We appreciate you. Andrew G says, if you had to choose the current iteration of the VeVe app or the old one, which would you choose? I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. I'm going to rustle some jimmies. But let me talk. So this version, but let me tell you why. Because this version, even though is it as good as the old app was? Not yet. But the amount of improvements that they've made in the short amount of time that they've had it is nothing short of very impressive. So I would rather this app, where it seems like improvements are a lot quicker and a lot easier and they're doing it a lot more efficiently. That's why I would much rather this app, because the old app took forever. And this app, I'm very excited to see where this app goes today, because this app is clearly easier to build on. It's easier to expand on. And that's why I would rather this version of the app, even though there's some other stuff that I like better from the old app. This app will win the day. Now this is DEVVE token. Yes, kick ass. That's actually a reference. There's a kick ass movie. So it is $1.66. So we are like in the middle of where we were. So at some point yesterday, we actually went down to like $1.60. We're at like $1.66 right now. Wicking up to $1.77 a couple of times. Obviously did not stay there. Picked up a special edition Ezio today. Oh, legit. The special editions are dope, man. They're dope AF. Dopeya. Meow, 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 meow. Sorry, just getting rid of some of these messages here. Energy's giving me those. What up? What up, Energy? How's it going? Jason Pena says, I do be on candy, though. Thank you so much, Jason Pena, for being a member. Thanks, Superman #1. Legendary is goated. I have heard people talk about that a lot. Sleeping Comics says, hey, Randy. Sleeping, do you want to come on the stream next week? Not like a podcast, but just kind of the same. It's similar to the one. Now, Sleeping was nice enough to come on my podcast on December 31st. Be there with me. That was great. Yeah, that's good. I would love it if you can come on, Sleeping. If I know it's kind of short notice, so if you can't, no big deal. But love it if you're on there, even just for a couple minutes. Mia says, "Bye, Gary Gensler." No, 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 no. Hey, hey, goodbye. Let's make Omi great again. Hope they bring back some of the original roadmap. I hope so too. I think they might. Mezcal Miranda says, "What's up, Randy? Random question. What's your favorite beer?" Oh, so there's a couple. One, just there's nothing like a Guinness, especially in Ireland from the tap. Oh my God, it's so good. If you have never been in Ireland and drank Guinness from a tap, you've just been living life wrong, and you just haven't lived. Not Your Father's root beer. I haven't had that in years. Not because I don't like it. I love it. Nobody freaking carries it. Not Your Father's root beer is one of my favorite drinks, I think, ever. It's so good. So good. Oh my God. So Guinness, Not Your Father's root beer. And there's a bunch of German beers that I had. I cannot tell you what the name of those were. Let me go. I'll show you guys something though. Posts from me. No. Yeah. Hello from Germany. This is going back to November of 2016. Whatever that was, it's a Heifentascherschwager, or something. It was so good. Like, German beer is so good. I would not mind living in Germany just for the beer. Like just for the beer. I remember on my way to Germany, I got an entire C5 all to myself. I snuck in those airplane alcohols. Yeah, that, and then I had Ken Bone as my bus driver in Germany. It wasn't really Ken Bone, but he just looked like him. Yeah, that was oh, my friend. Sorry. And anyway, I would say the German beer, I can't remember the name of, Not Your Father's root beer or Guinness. Yeah. I do like the Smirnoff, like I'm like such a white girl. Mike's Hard, Smirnoff, like I kind of like the sugary drinks. I should not have those. If I want like a man beer, dude, Bud Light Platinums. So Bud Light Platinums they just have like more alcohol in them. And you just like, so they're like normal Bud Light, but they're platinum and it's just more alcohol and they taste good. And it's like, oh, after a couple, we're like, oh, these are good. Yeah, so those are, I could talk about beer, like I could talk about liquor and drink like all day. I haven't had a drink since December 31st. I am 12 days sober, mother flappers. But yeah, there was, when the Ohio State game the other night, yesterday, Friday, there was something on Friday too. I think it was Friday. I wanted to drink. Everyone was drinking. I was like, I should drink, but I didn't. I just ate far too much fried fish and fried chicken and water, and that was it. Anyway, let's continue. Curtis Cooper says, "Good evening, Randy. Good evening, Curtis Cooper. How's it going, pal? What's in your picture on your wall there? On the, I don't know what it is. Very curious. Anyway, King71 says, "Hey, Randy, are you strongly confident Omi hits in a big way this crypto cycle? Are you leaning towards it as a lock around 2029? I am very confident." Is that a Charizard? It's a jumbo Charizard, first edition jumbo Charizard. Good for you that you're holding there. Yeah, I'm very confident. Again, I've never sold an Omi. My biggest bag is an Omi. DEVVE or Definity will probably they'll probably outperform it too, but DEVVE or Definity will probably be my biggest bag at some point, especially if Omi stays down here. Again, DEVVE could do like a, I don't know, like a 20x. In which case, yeah, I'll get more Omi. I'll take some funds out of there. I'll put it into Omi. In which case, yeah, do it. Ooh, my back. Drug Live says all these renegade listings for Omi. Do they know something that we don't? Seems kind of odd with these. I think they do. I think that Omi, like, here's my super conspiracy theorist. Probably not true. In my headcanon, in my scenario, maybe Ecomi is applying for a couple exchanges, and it seems that like I didn't realize this when Sergeant Darrell Lyles had my first my MTI, military training instructor in basic training. He says, like, listen, some of y'all now are best friends. Some of y'all now hate each other. Do not burn bridges. It's a small Air Force. You'll probably see each other again. Lo and behold, he was right. I saw a lot of those guys again. Granted, some of those were reservists and they just weekend warriors. Anyway, but some I served with a couple of reservists and so deployed. Anyway, I didn't believe him until I legit see someone that I didn't know halfway around the world, like someone that I knew halfway around the world in Kuwait, coming back from Iraq, and I was like, okay, small Air Force. So I think in that same breath, this crypto world, yeah, you could find someone anywhere in the world that could be into it in the first world. But the exchanges and people that work for them and with them, that's a small world. And if Ecomi is applying for an exchange or two, let's say they have applications out there, I know that they've had offers in the past. In that Telegram channel, Ecomi used to have a Telegram channel where they would, David and Dan and Reese at the time, and everyone would just like talk to us. You couldn't get a week. You could not go a week without somebody coming in saying like, hey guys, I'm from this exchange. We want to try to list the token. Who do we talk to? Like, they didn't just throw those names out. They didn't, like, why we didn't list that, I have no idea. But those names just weren't just like ignored. They were always like, at least they took the card and they took the contact. So I know that there are people out there that know who Omi is. They know who Omi are Ecomi is and are. The team is, or how would I say are, or were. And they can go on and say, yeah, I know them. I have talked to them about it in the past. So if Ecomi is applying for even one exchange, even if it's small, I guarantee you somebody that works at that exchange probably knows people that work at other exchanges. It's like, hey, this is about like you're about to make like a racist joke. You got to make sure nobody from that race will be like, Ecomi applied to list for our exchange. Go renegade list right now. Like, do I know that's why these renegade listings are happening? No, I have zero proof of that. Does it make sense? Absolutely, it makes sense. Now, just because something makes sense doesn't mean that it happened. Maybe they just go and search for whatever type of tokens and they list. I don't know why these random exchanges are listing the token. My best guess, what would make the most poetic sense, would just be the scenario that I just described. Is that the case? I have no idea. But I don't know why else these other exchanges would randomly list the Omi token. You know, like if you have any theories, please comment down below. I want to hear them. Thanks more. Paul Lizzie, what's going on, fam? Saying, when Lambo, Randy? I don't know if I'll ever get a Lambo, man. I want a Cybertruck. I want other stuff, you know. Doge Army General says, who farted? Me. I actually did fart yesterday on camera. Who farted? It was me. Anyway, let's move on. Toby Salisbury says, yes, I want to see sleeping on the stream. Me too. Yeah. Oh, my back. Andrew G says, I might be missing something. But what actual significant improvements has VeVe made to the new version of the app since it came out? There's been a ton. So you're able now to go on and see, you're able now to go on and see the low, like the newly listed. Before, they took that option away for some godforsaken reason. They took the option to look at newly listed. I don't even know if they could view as lowest price. They took that away. The search bar is better now. The back bar is better now. They gave you the marketplace back. The tab for the marketplace was gone. It was like a link on like another tab. It was crazy. But they've made like 7 updates on the app, and each update has like multiple updates inside it, and it's much faster. It was legit like 11 seconds. You had to click something, and like I was like, guys, like no, everyone is going to flee from this app if you have to wait like 11 seconds for it to. They're just going to. Now the wait is pretty much the same time as it was. Maybe it's slightly longer, but the wait time has improved super significant. And honestly, that was like the biggest thing. Rafael Martinez says, when different Iron Man suits, maybe even the cave where he built the OG one as a diorama, or Tony's office with Jarvis, that'd be amazing. I mean, you kind of have the different Iron Man suits when you have the Funko partnership. There's 5 different Iron Man suits there. I don't know which was the Mark 1 or 5 or 7 or whatever, but I mean, maybe in the VeVe verse you could have something like that. Hey, Marvel has something that you can purchase, and maybe for Omi, whatever it is. I don't know. We'll see. Dioramas are cool. Tony's office with Jarvis would be dope. Love Jarvis. Jarvis is like my man. Like I love Jarvis. Is one of my favorite characters in the MCU. Vladimir Colombo says, Butters, please sell Omi back down to 00025 so I can load the boat. There were accusations, and again, like horrendously wrong and like the people should be sued type of accusations that like David was like going to jail and he's like illegally doing stuff, and like you have like the craziest FUD, the craziest lies that I've ever seen, and the token didn't break 00035. Like maybe it went to like 349. Like let's see. Let's go over the past 7 days. 35469 is like the lowest that it's gone in the last 7 days. Like if that didn't do it, ain't no. You've had the worst FUD that I've seen for the company and the token this past week, and it didn't move an inch. If that doesn't get it down, I don't know what will. Alfred Martinez as well, it's Kobe holding the Charizard. Wait, what? What? Hang on. Where's that dude again? Oh shoot, it is Kobe. Oh, Kobe. Oh, the world barely knew ye. Very nice. Amazing. VeVe Wheels says, let's go. Let's get this bread. I love this game. Somebody says, saw someone comment VeVe purposely made the app bad so market prices would tank. That is so fucking stupid. How did VeVe expect to get new users on a Joy collectible? If a Joy collectible costs $200, new users need you. I have no idea who commented that. They're just either lying or they're just complete morons. That's how you get new users, is when like how you get new users is when you spend $20 on something and then it's $200. That's how you like, wait, I could spend $20 on something and get 200. Where do I sign up? That is the easiest way to onboard new people. Whoever said that could not be more wrong. The game is my first edition PSA 9 Charizard. Haha, thanks, Rob. Oh, it is a PSA. I can't tell. It's too small from here, but PSA 9, very nice. Says, will you ever do that ring dinger for your back? So tempted to pay for it one day, but is that the one where it's like a rolly thing and you roll on it? Because I don't think I've done that. However, I will. Ow! Oh my God, my body! I will show you guys something. Okay. Confront level Jedi Knight. Capsule does. Take this. We've got that out there. We've got an inverter, and it's you put your feet down there, put your right foot in, put your right, and then it like goes up that way, and you hang upside down. So I really like that, and I use that, but that it pushes on the part of my back that is like the most painful in my lower back. So I don't really use it that much like I should, because of the reason, because it legit pushes on the inside of my back that just hurts so bad, and I can't do it. So much FUD for no reason. It's always the same accounts. Yeah, I just block all of them because like I understand people being concerned about things, and like the actual FUD of like just being fearful, being uncertain, and being doubtful, like that's fine. But when people like purposely lying, like I'm just gonna block you. Like there's no reason for that. Ringdinger is when they wrap a towel on your neck and lock in your hips, and they pull the towel on your back. It's stretched. So if it was my upper back, yes, it's my lower back. It is. Yeah. So I have watched that. I have seen people do that. It looks cool. But yeah, it's my lower back. It quote Mike Tyson. It's spinal. It's just a spinal injury. It's too much. It was from just car accidents, military just fighting, random stuff. It just took too much of a beating. But again, I went to the gym today and I'm not destroyed. I shoveled the past few days, not completely destroyed. Supposedly it goes all the way down. I'm sure it does. I don't know what I need. Maybe I need a chiropractor. Maybe I need something. I would say I need one of those mystic healers that healed Batman's back. No, not the one that like jabbed his back and popped the vertebra back into place. Like the mystic healers from like the comics. I need that. This was a good episode. Toby Salisbury says, "Do you have any info on the trial? I don't know much about it. You can read the public filings of the trial, but the ruling is not going to be for weeks to several months. We don't know when it'll be. But outside of that, I'm not really nervous. Because again, I can read people. If I would to have any conversation, well, I'll say this: like conversations that happened with David and Ben Rose after the trial was concluded, never mentioning the trial but talking about other stuff, seemed fine. I'm not worried at all. What's your take on the legal case and the FUD around it? Smear campaigns, obviously, I think there's a reason why. Like, I'm pretty sure there's a legal reason why the Ecomi or VeVe team haven't talked about it. Again, just going from my own experience, typically not allowed to talk about an ongoing case. Even if like there are aspersions cast upon you and lies being said about you, general legal advice, again, this is my own experience, I'm not a lawyer, is just to not comment on it publicly. But again, I don't have the I'm not in the know. I'm not part. I don't work for VeVe. Kind of friends with David and kind of friends with other. But again, there's no, in my interpretation of how people are acting, especially after the end of the trial, conversations with them. Listen, Ben is a really smart guy, and I'm sure he's in the know of the trial. If he saw any whiff of like if he was going to go down and his compensation package is about growing VeVe, like he's not going to stay here. He's not going to continue to be CEO of VeVe if the trial was going to be bad and VeVe's going down. Like that just doesn't make sense. So again, I'm just trying to really use common sense here. Maybe my common sense isn't that good, but most of the times it is. Rafael says, Mystic Healers got me thinking of a Lazarus Pit diorama. Yeah. So could you imagine, like you have the Marvel Mighties, right? And they're like venomized, I guess. So you have zombie Captain America. Again, they're not dead. If you could take something that had like died, like the fish, some fish died, you take some of them, put them in a Lazarus Pit, and suddenly they're brand new. Girl. All right, that's gonna be it for me today. I do have other news to go over, but I was talking for like an hour or something beforehand. I'll have to get. Let me get to one or two other things here. I guess in the world, California is spending 2.6 billion per year on healthcare for illegal aliens. California expands free healthcare, covers 700,000 migrants ages 26 to 29. Elon Musk says this will scale to enormous numbers as California passed a bill providing free healthcare for illegals that just took effect last year. Essentially, anyone on Earth can come to California for free healthcare. Earth has 8 billion people, but California has 40 million people. There are not enough doctors to take care of everyone, even with infinite funding. Doing this and not adding a single new doctor is recipe for insane disaster. I remember when Rand Paul's audit the Fed bill for the Senate got 42 yeses and 43 nos. That was as of 9 years ago today. Wow, that was 9 years ago. Oh, I have such a funny story. I might post after this. It was 6 years ago now. 2019 was probably one of my favorite years, like in life. Um, I'll find it here real quick. It just came up on my Facebook memories today. Oh, thank you, friendo. Let me see where it was at. 19. I'll read it here. Be me. Be X amount of time ago. Be I can't read it here. There's too much horrendous language. It's just really funny. I might post it to X later. Magikarp. Sean No says we need the ability to message users and send offers. Look at the feed on the VeVe app. So many people trying to contact people using but no one reads notifications, so they don't see it. This is what somebody's notifications look like. People had a new post in the feed. Yeah, I would like them to do that, but again, people become people, and the ability to if you can block people on VeVe, yeah, do it. Like enable messaging. I just like I know like for me and especially like for women, they're just gonna get so many messages. It's gonna be like disgusting. Yeah, maybe we can get messaging users at least in the VeVe verse. Same thing though. And again, Miles Morales, Floor went crazy. Have I told you lately? Sorry. And who is this? Oh, this guy named Coach K Crypto, 132,000 followers, saying, "Been in DEVVE since day one. I invested, brought several other investors to this project. The Fortune 500 C-level members who left cushy jobs for this project. They're changing the game with what is about to come out. Their chart, this drawdown has been mooning for a reason." Agreed. Now, obviously, you don't just go up. You have, peaks and valleys as well. I'm of the opinion that we've had a couple red candles in a row here, but I'm of the opinion that we go crazy once that announcement comes out. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. What's my outro song? Do you ever feel